Please work, please work, please work, please work. Please work. You can do it, Spoons. You can do it. I believe in you. You can do it. You can do it. Did it do it? I don't know. Oh. What's up, everyone? I'm Rachel, aka Ray Ray MUA, and today we have some fuckery going on. I thought the sweatshirt was really appropriate because if you haven't been watching the news the last 2-3 weeks, Can I? I cannot. That being said, there's also some fuckery happening with my skin. I don't know, man. I don't know if like I overhydrated with a really super heavy eye cream. I don't know if I am now allergic to some tree or some grass or whatever that's sprouting, but my eyes are swollen, they're super dry. It's a mess. I've been sleeping with Aquaphor on my eyes every single night. So, you know, despite the fuckery, we're doing this today. So grab your brushes, grab some water, grab whatever you need, and let's get it going. Okay, so I already have my foundation and concealer applied, and because we are keeping kind of the eye area very light, not a whole lot of product just because it hurts. I'm actually just going to be combing my eyebrows up and then using the False Lash Maximizer just to kind of make everything stand up. I'm actually not going to be using any product in it, just because the area of skin around my eyebrows are a little irritated as well, but I still want them to look manicured, a little bit more lifted. So I'm just going to use my spoolie, and we're just going to kind of prep the brow. Just kind of combing it through, getting it ready. So we'll drop that down, and then we'll go in with the False Lash Maximizer. Now, I know I've explained it before, but do not be afraid that the product is white because it is going to dry down clear, so you're not really gonna be able to see any color in the brow. So we're just gonna pull everything up. Side. Cool. Now I'm going to go in with my finger and just kind of press into the hair the product, just because I want everything to be nice and stood up, kind of like that laminated brow that is really popular right now. Oh God, I love that. I look kind of crazy because I don't have any like color on my eyelids yet, but already I love how this looks. And now my eyebrows are fairly full, so I do already kind of look like I have a little bit of color. So my friends with a little bit thinner eyebrows, you can still go in and add kind of flicks of hair if you wanted to kind of like make sure that the color is there and the evenness of the hair is still there. I love that. Standing at attention. Next, we're gonna go in on the eyes. Now, like I said before, I wanna keep it really light. So I don't want a ton of product, but I want the maximum amount of payoff. So for me, that means Prolongwear Paint Pot. So this product kind of is like a 2-in-1. So it's an eyeshadow primer in that it keeps everything looking smooth for a lot longer. It makes just the color last longer. And it also helps to fight creasing. So you can put shadow on top of it, or you can get shades that already have some color to it. And it's like literally one-stop shop, which is awesome. So with this product, you can use either your finger, you can use a flat brush, kind of that like mimics the pad of a finger, or you can use a fluffy brush. Personally, I like to use a fluffy brush, so I'm just gonna kind of go in here and kind of tap it. I don't want a ton of color on there. And then we're just gonna dust that onto my very swollen, very red eyelid. And I'm just kind of patting and working that color in. Here. I love this color. And I don't think, literally, I already don't remember if I said the name or not. So this is Contemplative State. So this is kind of like a camel, taupe, or you know, as I like to call it, baby puke or baby food. So this is really nice, warm ochre shade that would be really pretty to layer on top of, oops. But I just love the color of it on its own. And it just makes colors look super, super interesting. I'm just gonna kind of feather the edge there. Ooh, sorry, my lighting is like going nuts. This side, that helps. I am gonna go ahead and wrap it around my eye. So I'm gonna kind of take, oh, and I don't think I said, so this is a Sigma Blending E25 brush, very similar to the 217 from MAC. But so I'm just gonna kind of touch the top here. And then we're just gonna kind of wrap it underneath. And even though this paint pot is a cream, it dries down like a powder. So this one will be more of a matte finish, but there are other options that have a bit of glitter, a bit of shimmer if you're into that. So I'm just gonna kind of wrap it here because the under eye, or my under eye right now, is still a little funky. So I'm just trying to be as gingerly with my application as possible. I don't know why I said gingerly like that. Next, we're gonna go in with the Nylon, and we're gonna be using a flat 239 brush, and we're just gonna be adding that to underneath the brow and our inner corner, just to add some brightness here. But I'm also gonna go in with a shadow on top, but I kind of want to still add that brightness underneath, kind of like a hidden highlight. Awesome. And then we're gonna go in and put the product on the corner of the brush, and we're gonna pop that in the center here. Especially because of the texture of how my eyes are a little swollen right now, they definitely look smaller because the lid itself is so heavy. So it's giving me more of like a hooded lid. So I really wanna make sure that it looks as open as possible. So this is really gonna help, and that's really gonna help because everything is gonna be really pulled up and really bright. Cool, so I'm gonna go take care of the other side. Next, we're gonna go in with the shade Motif, which is just a really interesting duochrome color where it's kind of golden, kind of pink, kind of purple. It's just really, really interesting no matter which way you look at it. And we're still gonna be using the 239. And we're just gonna go in right on top of that Nylon to add a touch of that pink. See what I mean? It makes it so much more interesting. And it also is gonna help kind of like blend into that, to that pink that we're adding on the outside when we do the blush. Just do the other side here. And then pop it in the inner corner. Cool, so kind of, this side doesn't bother me as much, but this one, I feel like it looks too blunt. The progression isn't super smoky or super soft. So I'm gonna go back in with that Sigma brush, that blending brush, with no new product on it. And I'm just gonna kind of blend a little bit. And I'm just being really gingerly with it because I don't want it to hurt, even though it like, totally does. And then just for the sake of evenness, we'll do a little bit on this side, and then we'll kind of touch it here. I went ahead and tight lined my upper waterline with the Technakohl liner in Graphblack. I figured you guys have seen me do that enough already, so I didn't need to do that on camera. So even though we are doing a non-traditional blush application, we are still going to bronze or contour. And I'm gonna be going in with my usual bronzer, Baina Bronze, just a warm tone bronze. So we're gonna pick it up on the 168 or just any angled powder brush here. And then we're gonna take it and we're going to blend that on here. We're gonna go ahead and do the top of the forehead as well. And then I'm going to be using the sponge that I used to blend in my concealer. And I'm just going to clean up around that edge just to make my contour, my bronzer, look really nice and sharp, and also kind of layer it into the skin. Now we're gonna go in with the star of the show, which is the Glow Play blush in the shade Rosy Does It. So it looks like that. So I think in my last video I talked about the Glow Play formula. It's considered, it kind of feels like and looks like a cream blush, but it's actually considered more of a bouncy powder. But it makes it really easy to apply with your finger, which is really nice, and it just blends into the skin really well, and you can kind of layer it to get the desired effect that you're looking for. So I'm gonna be going in with a clean 168. You could use the same 168 that you used before if you wanted to. I'm just gonna use a clean one just because I wanna make sure that like that layer of color is gonna go on really nice and even. So I'm gonna kind of tap on here. With this, I find that it's better to tap rather than to swirl, because then if you swirl, it'll end up picking up a little too much color, and we don't want that. So the place that I'm gonna be applying the blush is actually right around here where we would normally highlight, and where I'm likely still going to highlight anyway because I can. So we're just gonna kind of start pressing that color into the skin. And I'm kind of still pressing it up into my hairline, just because I like the way that looks. Pick up a little bit more. As I always say, much like with money, it's always better to add than subtract. And I feel like with this color, it looks so much scarier in the packaging than it actually does on the skin. And I'm also kind of bringing it onto the eye just to kind of make it just a really nice illusion of shade. Cool, so let's go ahead and pick up a little bit more and then we'll do the other side. I'll try not to mess up the lighting here. I love that a lot of the makeup trends that I'm seeing like on TikTok and Instagram, whoop, so much for that, are so much like, they're picking up a lot of tips and tricks or application techniques that we've done in like the 90s and the 80s and kind of everywhere in between. But it has still more of like a, you know, more of a modern twist to it. But I love that, you know, previous beauty tips and applications and everything are still kind of blending into what we're doing now. And I'm just excessively blending. Let's look at this here. I'm just gonna kind of add a little bit more. I'm trying to decide if I want to dust on a little blush on the tip of my nose, because I did it last time and I didn't love it, but I also didn't hate it. let's do it. Okay, but the way that I'm gonna do it though, is I'm gonna kind of like tap with like the flat edge of the brush, pick up just the slightest bit, and I'm just gonna do like right here, almost kind of like lay it flat on top of the nose. Yeah, already. Okay, so I'm gonna go in my 170 that's got some leftover foundation on it from when I applied earlier, and I'm just gonna sandwich. So I feel like it's just too red. Because if you've ever had a couple glasses of wine with me or a couple of cocktails, I get flushed like crazy. So I feel like that's what it looks like. That's better. I like that better. Now we're gonna kind of amp this up a notch because I can. I'm gonna be using the Extra Dimension Skinfinish Highlighter in the shade Snowflushed. This was a limited edition shade, but I think the equivalent to this or the dupe would be Beaming Blush, or no, Show Gold, one of the two from MAC. That would be fairly close to this, but I love this. This is so good. Okay, so I'm gonna use that 168 still, and I'm just gonna lay it flat in here. And then I'm just gonna kind of focus this a little bit more right here. I don't wanna take it all the way down, because then that's gonna be a little too much. And then we're gonna do the tip of the nose, Cupid's bow, some on the chin, some on the forehead. So pretty. Okay, I'm gonna set really fast. I'm gonna go in and add some mascara to these puppies, and I will be right back. Now that we have our lashes done, I am gonna go in with a little bit more of the Glow Play. This time I'm gonna use my finger, and I'm actually gonna be applying this to my lip. So I'm just gonna kind of tap, kind of cover the pad of my finger, and then I'm just gonna tap onto the lip. Just to add a really nice flush to the lip. And just to kind of keep everything really cohesive, almost like slightly monochrome, slightly not. Going with a little bit more. And do the top. Just looks really soft, really lived in. There we have it, the final really springy look despite the fuckery going on with my skin. I hope you enjoyed doing this with me today. I super enjoyed doing this with you. And as always, I would like to close this video out by asking how you showed up for yourself today. I showed up for myself today by journaling. Did some journaling early this morning. I did my dishes. I know that might not sound like I'm showing up for myself because I have to, but I absolutely hate doing my dishes, so I finally just got it done. I'm gonna feel much better tomorrow knowing that they're done. And then, I know I've said it before, so I feel like it's kind of a cop-out, but I did this. I don't know, just full transparency here, you know, I wasn't feeling particularly good, especially because my skin, I don't know what's going on. I genuinely don't. And I wasn't really sure how I was going to be able to get this done. But I just kind of sat and thought about it and, you know, tried to think outside the box, like how exactly I could get this done, because I'm trying to keep myself accountable. I want to make this work, so I made it work. And we just pivoted and, you know, did something new, did something interesting, did something different. And I love that. Thank you so much for watching and doing this with me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. You'd be really helping me out. And I super appreciate you, and I hope you give yourself grace. And I will see you next time. Bye.